Look, SIs don't need to give me any buttering up when they hit our garage. I used to love my '87 CRX SI, but this is its long-distant cousin, the 2012 Honda Civic Coupe SI. Let's see if the DNA made it all the way down the family tree and check out this 2012 while we check the tech. Now, the SI has 3 or 4 differences in cabin tech I want to point out to you since a standard Civic crossed our garage door a few months ago. First of all, you see that iMid display, they call it there. That's like a 4-inch LCD. It's kind of cool. This information button runs it. You have one additional screen, though, in an SI, and that's this dubiously useful power monitor. Shows how much, I guess, horsepower you're using. And it's got the little VTEC diagram next to it that I thought was going to change colors depending on my RPM, but no, the shift point stuff takes place on that screen on the left. You've got yellow lights that come on as you approach redline, and then the last 2 are red. They kick in from 5,200 to 7,000 RPM, kind of a graduated shift light. And the red light right next to the iVTEC word tells you when the iVTEC valve train has kicked in, yo. Other iMid screens include one where you can put up a wallpaper. It would be the black one there. I don't do that nonsense. You got a clock with date, your media screen, and a fuel economy screen. Now to the head unit, mildly revised, same crappy map that Honda's been hobbling their cars with for ages, but you do have some nice media choices now, including the ability to do Bluetooth streaming, and when you do so, at least on my Droid, I'm getting nice meta tag information to flow through, and pretty good transport control. The rest of your choices include AM, FM, but no HD radio. You've got satellite radio. Down here is an aux, and then here in the cabin, in the console, little pigtail for USB or iPod. Now that navigation screen, dated as it is, with satellite radio and traffic, is a $1,500 upcharge. I'd go for the standard head unit, and I'd go do something aftermarket and put a few hundred in your pocket. Now, of course, an SI is largely about its motor. This is Honda's 2.4-liter inline-4 with their famed iVTEC variable valve timing and geometry. That's one of the key things here because there's no turbo, no supercharger, no silly games being played. It's kind of a conventional motor. Little guy turns out 201 horsepower, 170 foot-pounds of torque. Gets this 2,900-pound car up to 60 in a few tenths below 7 seconds while delivering 2231 mpg. The drivetrain is also very simple. Front-wheel drive only, this laterally mounted engine, although the SI does get a limited slip gearbox. Okay, underway, the first thing I notice about the SI is that it really loves to be opened up. This car is a breather, not a grunter. Not a big torque box, but it just runs all the way to the, 7,000 RPM red line quite happily, and nice smooth power delivery through it. They've bumped up the actual amount of power and torque on this car a little bit from the last generation, but it still tends to be a little boggy below 4 grand. It's a rever. That's all there is to it. If you don't drive it that way, it becomes kind of a drag because of the low amount of power down below 3,000 or 4,000. And the fact that the engine kind of makes some unpleasant or at least uninspiring noises down there. When you open it up is when you get that nice little snap and snarl. But regardless of how and when you drive it, I find the most annoying trait of this motor is incredible RPM float. When you go to get the next gear, you put the clutch in, you come off the accelerator entirely or mostly, the needle just sits there like someone stuck some masking tape on it. Handling is good, but I feel like the rear end is a little bit light, a little tail happy, and it feels like what it is. It's a front-wheel drive car without any particular sophisticated drivetrain technology. That said, it's a nimble, refined, fun little sporting car, just not top of the class perhaps anymore. Look, I like the SI Coupe a lot. I just don't love it the way I would have a number of years ago. It no longer defines the category like it used to. That said, here's how I do it. 23 grand base for an SI Coupe. It's nicely done in terms of audio system and most of the gear, and I'd hold it right there. Skip that $1,500 nav system. Waste of your money. Go aftermarket or just go smartphone. And skip the HFP tuner package. You don't become a tuner by having the factory do your package. That's not a tuner at all.